Alright YouTube, this is part 2. Plumbing in the bio pellet reactor. So it's against reef octopus. I have the shutoff valve for the adjustment here. I have unions to disconnect it from the hard plumbing. So I've glued in this one and I just ran it up past, so I didn't know exactly where the cut's going to be. And what I did up here is I got the cross section in. Let me show you the other side, how that turned out. There it is here. There it is there. So that's going to be like an auxiliary for when I want to add plumbing in again. When I did this one, I should have, when I did that one, I should have done it, put a T on and T'd it, but it's, it is what it is now. You can never, well, I can't ever think of how to plumb it the correct way the first time, because I'll show you over here is I knew all my equipment was going to go over here, but I got ahead of myself early in months and months, maybe a year and a half ago, and I did some painting, but I never finished the painting. Under here I painted the PVC pipe and thank goodness I stopped right here on the paint, right, the edge right there. So that's where I tied it in. It looks a little sloppy right here. What happened was I really struggled getting the two pipes together without pulling it away from the wall too much. So it is away from the wall, but it actually lined up the same distance over there. It just luck. So it's like that. It's secured here. I didn't want to draw it in too much because if I show you down here, I wanted to keep the pipe going straight. Let me see if I can show you. See, I wanted to keep the same distance between the wood. So now it's a lot straighter, because before I had it pulled up tight to the wood, which was bowing it, and I could tell when I cut this thing loose that it had a lot of stress on it. So, and stress could cause leaks later down the road. So I put a cross in. I put a 45. I've glued it in here. I've glued it there. I'm kind of waiting for it to dry. Now what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to, just cut it right at that line. It goes about a ½ inch into all these fittings. So go about a ½ inch above right here and you should be fine. So that's how it's going to work. So that's the supply to the pellet reactor. The return going back to the protein skimmer is going to be this one. It's going to be a ½ inch, so it's going to come up. I'm going to 45 it to the wall and strap it, because I've got a union, it won't matter. So it'll probably look a little cleaner if I strap it, 45 it into the wall, strap it against this wall. This pipe right here is that's my water change pipe. So strap that to the wall, the return, come around here, and this is going to be the cool part. So it's going to be just right on top of those two pipes right there. That one is the original one coming from my chiller and from my my reactors over there. And then the second one that I've added before comes over here and dumps in right there, and that is from my carbon and GFO. Remember that reactor? I got a video on it if you guys want to see that one getting plumbed in. If you haven't seen the other video, there's a couple errors in the plumbing on this one, because the water, when you take off these lids, there's no way for the return lines to shut off. I mean, what there is on the back side, but there's too much water in the hoses and it gets all over the place. So I don't think I'm going to change the plumbing on this at all, because I like the way it looks, but I'm just going to add a plastic tub underneath to collect the water when I do change the media out, which is once a month. I'll just deal with it that way. So I got off subject here. The return from the pellet reactor is going to come. It's going to come in right on top of this pipe here, and it's going to go right into. I have a piece that I made where on the end of this, it's only a 1/4 inch. You see the hose right there? So it's a 1/4 of an inch. So I got a PVC T. I notched out for that airline where it could kind of fit on there, but what it's going to do, it's going to be strapped to the wall right up here and hard piped where it just sits right there, and the protein skimmer will slide into it to where it fits. It doesn't change the way the skimmer works or anything like that. It's just a little T. It's a pretty large T, but it's a T with the pipe coming in, and it will be hard piped into basically the skimmer. So I think that's going to be a good way to run that. So this is part 2. Let me wrap this up. It's getting long-winded, and I'll show you the final plumbing on part 3. Thanks.